yelling and screaming at each other,
Yes.
correct? And you're doing that. Did your spit come out of your mouth and go onto Imani Ellis?
I don't think so, no.
Cardi B's trial has been filled with drama, but now it's taken an even darker turn. Fresh reports reveal the rapper collapsed in court after hearing the final verdict. How severe was the sentence, and what does it mean for her career? Let's break it down. The explosive allegations that shocked the world. The hip-hop world was shaken to its core when news broke that one of rap's realest queens had collapsed in court. But before we get into that, let's rewind to where it all began. This whole mess started back in February 2018 when Cardi was just trying to handle her business like any expecting mother would. Sis was 4 months pregnant with baby Culture and rolled up to Dr. David Fink's Beverly Hills office for a routine prenatal checkup. The Bronx bombshell was moving smart, staying low-key with a hoodie and wig because she knew the paparazzi and fans were always on her heels, especially after Bodak Yellow had the streets going crazy. But sometimes when you're trying to move in silence, the wrong people still catch wind of your business. What should have been a simple doctor's visit turned into a whole situation that would have Cardi B fighting for her reputation and her coins for years to come. The beef that popped off in less than 2 minutes became the foundation for a $24 million lawsuit, and that ain't pocket change even for somebody getting Grammy money. Security guard Imani Ellis was posted up in the building's lobby doing her job when she peeped the disguised celebrity walking through.
Saw Cardi B, you said something to the effect of, wow, that was Cardi B?
Something to the effect of that.
According to the paperwork filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court in 2020, Ellis got excited seeing one of her favorite rappers and couldn't help but acknowledge the superstar.
And she said, oh my God, yo, Cardi B's here. So I kind of speed walk, but I feel her behind me.
But what happened next, according to Ellis's side of the story, was some straight up wild behavior that left her traumatized and scarred, literally and figuratively. Ellis's version of events paints Cardi B as someone who completely lost her cool when she got recognized. The security guard claims that the pregnant rapper started tripping hard, accusing her of snitching about her location and trying to record her on the low. But according to Ellis, the verbal confrontation was just the beginning of what turned into a straight up assault. The allegations Ellis threw at Cardi B in court were no joke. We're talking some serious accusations that could have ended careers and sent people to county lockup. Ellis claimed that Cardi B got all up in her face with her finger, started using racial slurs including dropping N-bombs, talked crazy about her weight, spit on her, started swinging, and then scratched up her face with some long acrylic nails.
You were scratched on your cheek.
She touched my nose, but she scratched my cheek.
Okay, but in the incident report, you say, scratching my nose, right? You have to answer all.
Yes, I'm sorry.
The alleged scratches were deep enough to leave permanent scars that required plastic surgery years later. But the physical damage wasn't even the worst part of Ellis's claims. Homegirl said the whole incident left her mind completely messed up, dealing with PTSD, anxiety, depression, and sleeping problems that eventually cost her the security job and forced her to switch careers. That's the kind of trauma that changes your whole life trajectory, and Ellis wanted Cardi B to pay for every bit of it. The case took its sweet time getting to court, with Ellis dropping the lawsuit in 2020 and the trial finally jumping off in August 2025 in Alhambra, California. During those years, Ellis had to get plastic surgery in 2022 that cost her $17,500 to fix what she claimed were permanent scars from Cardi's nails. When Cardi B finally got her chance to tell her side of the story on the witness stand, she came with that same uncut energy that made her famous in the first place. The mother of 3, who was now divorced from Offset and still dealing with her own drama, brought that authentic Bronx attitude that had the whole courtroom cracking up while she defended herself against some serious accusations.
You were yelling and screaming at each other,
Yes.
correct? And you're doing that. Did your spit come out of your mouth and go onto Imani Ellis?
I don't think so, no.
Cardi's defense was straight up and no chaser. She kept it 100 that no hands were thrown, period. The rapper testified that the whole situation was just some back and forth talking that lasted less than a minute.
And that's when we started arguing.
And what did you say?
I was like, you can't do what you want. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's like you invading my privacy.
She admitted to calling Ellis out her name, specifically calling her a because she was feeling disrespected, but she completely denied using racial slurs, spitting on anybody, or putting hands on Ellis in any way. The most memorable part of Cardi's testimony was when she got real about her physical condition during the incident. Being 4 months pregnant, weighing only 130 pounds and standing 5'3", Cardi argued that getting physical wasn't even realistic.
At that moment, when you're pregnant, I'm very disabled. You want me to tell you the things I can't do?
Fine. What was your disability on February 24th of 2018. What was your disability?
I was pregnant.
When she described feeling disabled because of her pregnancy, the courtroom couldn't help but laugh at her honesty. But it also showed her vulnerability as an expecting mother trying to protect herself and her unborn child. The defense's case got major backup from eyewitnesses who saw the whole thing go down. Receptionist Tiara Malcolm and Dr. David Fink himself both testified that Ellis was actually the aggressor in the situation. Malcolm said Ellis reached over her to get at Cardi B and accidentally scratched Malcolm's forehead in the process. Both witnesses swore they didn't see Cardi B put hands on Ellis, and neither one noticed any injuries on Ellis's face right after the alleged incident. The evidence game was weak for Ellis's case, and that became clear real quick. The biggest problem was that there wasn't any surveillance footage from anywhere in the building. Not the lobby, not the elevator, nowhere. Despite both legal teams asking for video during discovery, no footage existed to back up anybody's story, which hurt Ellis's credibility big time. The medical evidence also had some holes that Cardi's team exploited. While Ellis had photos of facial scars and records from her 2022 surgery, there were some inconsistencies in her story that made people side-eye her claims. Early reports talked about a nose injury instead of cheek scratches, and the fact that she waited 4 years to get surgery raised questions, especially since she was in car accidents in 2021 and 2023 that could have caused similar injuries. The courtroom atmosphere was intense, with lawyers going at each other hard while Cardi B's personality shined through her testimony. Ellis's attorney tried to paint Cardi as an entitled celebrity who thought she could do whatever she wanted, while Cardi's legal team portrayed Ellis as someone trying to get a quick come-up off a famous person's name and bank account. As the trial played out, the streets seemed to be riding with Cardi B heavy. Social media was flooded with support, with fans calling Ellis's claims a straight-up money grab and praising the defense witnesses for keeping it real. The contrast between Ellis's unsupported allegations and the consistent testimony from multiple witnesses who backed Cardi's version created a narrative that had most people believing the Bronx rapper's side of the story. But to keep it real about the whole Cardi B courtroom drama, we gotta dive into her history with legal beef and all the controversies that have followed her from the streets to the penthouse. A pattern of legal battles and controversies. The current assault case ain't Cardi B's first rodeo with the legal system, not by a long shot. Sis has been dealing with court dates, lawyers, and legal drama for years, and each case tells a story about what happens when street mentality meets celebrity status. From strip club brawls to defamation battles, Cardi's legal history reads like a handbook on how to fight your battles in the courtroom instead of the streets. The most serious legal beef in Cardi's career jumped off in August 2018, just months after that Beverly Hills doctor's office incident. The 2018 strip club situation became a 4-year legal nightmare that could have sent her to the pen at the height of her success. The drama went down at Angel Strip Club in Queens, a spot Cardi knew well from her dancing days, and the beef was as personal as it gets. The whole situation popped off because Cardi B found out one of the bartenders, Jade, was allegedly messing around with Offset.
At the strip club, which alleges that she ordered the attack on 2 of the bartenders there because she thought that one of them
had slept with Offset.
Right. So she's been charged with a misdemeanor, I believe it's.
But this wasn't just some spontaneous street fight. The prosecutors came with receipts showing that Cardi had allegedly offered 5 racks through Instagram DMs to have somebody handle the situation. She later admitted to throwing bottles at the victims during 2 separate incidents in August 2018. What started as misdemeanor charges got real serious real quick when a grand jury hit Cardi with 14 charges in June 2019, including 2 felonies for attempted assault. Those felony charges weren't no joke. They could have had her doing real time upstate while her career was just taking off. The possibility of significant jail time was hanging over her head like a dark cloud. The case dragged out for years because of COVID court delays and plea negotiations that went back and forth. Cardi initially said hell no to a conditional discharge deal in April 2019, choosing to fight the charges straight up. But when jury selection was about to start in September 2022, she took a last-minute plea deal that kept her out of county lockup by copping to 2 misdemeanors and accepting 15 days of community service. But Cardi B showed she wasn't just playing defense in the legal game. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Her defamation lawsuit against YouTuber Tasha K became one of the most talked about celebrity legal battles in recent memory, ending with a massive $4.05 million victory that sent a message to anybody thinking about spreading lies. The beef with Latasha Kibe, who went by Tasha K online, started when she posted over 20 videos between 2018 to 2019 making wild allegations about Cardi's past. This wasn't just gossip. Tasha K was claiming Cardi used to trick, had STDs like herpes and HPV, was heavy into cocaine, and was cheating on Offset.
She didn't like an interview that I did with a former stripper friend of hers who said a lot of things that she did and they did together, right? And she had made some allegations, but social media had already been making them allegations, you know, about her sexual health and all that shit. you know? And yeah, that interview did 5 million views because she responded.
These allegations were targeting Cardi's bread and reputation in the worst way. What made Cardi's victory so sweet was the emotional testimony she gave about how these lies affected her mental health. During the January 2022 trial, Cardi testified that she was dealing with suicidal thoughts, anxiety, and marriage problems because of the rumors, which were also messing with her business deals. The jury found Tasha K guilty of defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and invasion of privacy. The $4.05 million judgment broke down like this: $1.25 million for general damages, $250,000 for medical expenses, $1.5 million in punitive damages, and $1.3 million for attorney's fees. But collecting that money turned into another battle when Tasha K filed for bankruptcy trying to avoid paying, claiming she only had $3.4 million in assets against $4 million she owed and had to hire cheap lawyers.
Man, it was... First of all, I wasn't paying attention to my case. You know, I hired lawyers that were fresh out of college.
I heard your legal team was not great.
Cardi's legal troubles weren't just limited to these major cases. In 2020, her and Offset caught a property damage lawsuit from some Beverly Hills property owners who claimed the couple caused $50,000 worth of damage during a rental for a music video shoot. The owners said they broke rental agreement rules and used the spot for unauthorized commercial filming, leaving behind busted furniture and stained walls. The trademark game showed another side of Cardi's hustle mentality and legal strategy. When she tried to trademark her signature catchphrase "occur," the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office shut it down in July 2019, saying it was too common and couldn't be tied exclusively to her brand. The rejection showed that even famous people have limits when it comes to owning popular slang.
Hey. Every time I go do a commercial, hey, can you finish it off with a "cr"? You think I ain't gonna profit off this? White folks do it all the times.
Her legal issues extended to smaller beefs that showed the challenges of living in the spotlight. Cardi caught heat for allegedly threatening paparazzi in New York in 2021, though no formal charges stuck. Her messy relationship with Offset also played out through the courts, with divorce papers filed in September 2020 that got withdrawn later, and then filed again in August 2024 when more cheating allegations surfaced.
Thank you for my kids, though. All 3 of them. I don't regret none of them. But I regret you. I don't regret my kids. You're a good daddy. You alright. I don't regret them. None of them. You. I regret you.
What's really wild about Cardi's legal history is how it connected to her personal relationships and business moves. The strip club case was directly tied to marriage drama with Offset, while the Tasha K lawsuit was about defending her reputation against allegations that usually involved her husband's alleged side pieces. The pattern showed how her personal life kept bleeding into her professional problems. The legal battles showed Cardi's strategic approach to protecting her brand and controlling her narrative. Instead of letting negative stories ride, she consistently fought back through the courts, whether she was defending against false allegations or going after people who she felt had crossed the line. This aggressive legal strategy matched her personality: direct, uncompromising, and ready to scrap when necessary. Industry watchers noticed that despite all these court cases, Cardi's career kept climbing. Shorty kept dropping bangers throughout all her legal drama. This showed that either her fan base didn't care about her controversies, or they actually made her seem more authentic and relatable. The legal fees from all these cases probably cost Cardi hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars. But she seemed to see these expenses as necessary investments in protecting her reputation and maintaining control over her story. The success of the Tasha K lawsuit especially sent a clear message to potential haters about what happens when you try to play with her name and money. But to really understand how Cardi B became the type of person who generates such intense loyalty and lawsuits, we need to go back to where it all started. Her incredible journey from the strip clubs of New York to the top of the rap game. From stripper to superstar, before the courtroom drama, before the Grammy speeches, before the $1 million lawsuits and chart-topping hits. Belcalis Marlenis Almanzar was just another young shorty from the Bronx trying to survive in the streets and make something out of nothing. The story of how she became Cardi B is one of the realest come-up tales in hip-hop history, a journey that started in the most unlikely places and involved choices that would shape her into the unapologetic queen we know today. Born October 11th, 1992 in Washington Heights, Manhattan, Cardi B came up in a multicultural household with a Dominican pops and a Trinidadian moms. Growing up in the Highbridge section of the South Bronx, she was surrounded by all the challenges that come with urban life: poverty, violence, and limited opportunities. Her nickname came from Bacardi, which matched her sister Hennessy's name, and that detail would become part of the legend that is Cardi B.
My name comes from, you know what? My sister name is Hennessy.
You know what I'm saying? My sister's name is Hennessy, right? So everybody used to call me Bacardi. So I always call myself Bacardi, right? And then it was my Instagram name, like Bacardi B.
The path that eventually led Cardi to superstardom started with some of the darkest chapters in her young life. At 19, after getting fired from her cashier job at a Tribeca grocery store, Cardi found herself trapped in a toxic situation with an abusive boyfriend. The circumstances were straight up dangerous. She was stuck living with his mother, crammed in a bedroom with 2 pit bulls, dealing with daily violence that threatened not just her safety, but her future.
I was poor as hell. I was living with my ex-boyfriend that was beating my ass. I had to drop out of school. I was like, living with his mama, 2 pit bulls in a bedroom. It was crazy.
When you're in survival mode with limited options, sometimes you have to make moves that other people won't understand. Desperate to escape the domestic violence and with nowhere else to turn, Cardi made the decision to start dancing at strip clubs like Satin Dolls in Manhattan, working under the name Camilla. The choice was both practical and empowering. By age 21, she was stacking up to $20,000 and saving every dollar to invest in her future.
So basically stripping saved your life.
Yeah, you know what? It really did though.
Cardi has always kept it 100 about her time in the strip club game, refusing to front like she was ashamed or regretful about choices that literally saved her life. In interviews, she consistently emphasized how the experience taught her confidence, stage presence, and financial discipline. The women she worked with became mentors who showed her how to be powerful and independent, challenging society's judgment about sex work and women making money with their bodies.
You want to know something? Like, I feel like a lot of people want me to lie and be like, I hated it. I went through so much things. I don't recommend it. I don't tell girls to go do it.
Yeah.
But it's just like I'm not even gonna front. It really saved me. Like, it really saved me.
But the strip club life wasn't all money and empowerment. Cardi has been real about how working in that environment affected her self-image and led to decisions about body modifications that she would later question. The pressure to look a certain way to maximize her earnings led her to get breast implants in the Dominican Republic and illegal butt injections in New York City.
I don't have no fat there. So I was like, yep.
How was it? Like, was it a scary experience for you, or?
It wasn't such a scary experience until like I got on the table and like I felt so dizzy, like I was about to pass out and everything.
The cosmetic procedures reflected the harsh realities of the strip club hustle, where your physical appearance directly affected your bag. Cardi has since expressed regrets about some of these choices, particularly the butt shots, acknowledging the health risks and the pressure she felt to conform to what customers wanted to see. While she was making money dancing, Cardi started documenting her thoughts and daily life on social media platforms, starting with Vine and moving to Instagram. Her unfiltered commentary on everything from relationships to politics, delivered in her authentic Bronx voice and seasoned with phrases like regular, degula, schmegula girl, started attracting a massive following. Her raw honesty and willingness to discuss topics that most people avoided resonated with audiences who were tired of fake, manufactured social media personalities. The transition from social media personality to reality TV star happened in 2015 when Cardi joined VH1's Love and Hip Hop New York for seasons 6 and 7. Her bold personality and memorable one-liners made her a fan favorite, even though many established artists on the show doubted her musical abilities. The show gave her a platform to showcase her personality to an even wider audience, while she worked on transitioning from the club to the studio. Her time on Love and Hip Hop was filled with drama, conflicts with other cast members, and storylines that kept viewers tuned in. But it also showed her business mind and determination to make it in the rap game. Despite skepticism from veterans in the industry, Cardi used the platform strategically, leaving after 2 seasons to focus completely on her music career. The mixtapes Gangsta Bitch Music Vol 1 Inch 2016 and Vol 2 Inches 2017 showcased her aggressive flow and storytelling skills, but everything changed when Bodak Yellow dropped in June 2017. The track became a cultural phenomenon that had the whole culture talking, hitting #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 3 weeks, and making Cardi the first solo female rapper to achieve this since Lauryn Hill in 1998.
I already feel like a winner.
Yeah, you already
You
are.
know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, I never thought me.
The success of Bodak Yellow was unprecedented and established Cardi as a force in hip-hop that couldn't be ignored. The song's lyrics, especially the iconic line, "I don't dance now, I make money moves," perfectly captured her evolution from the strip club to stardom. The track went diamond and became an anthem for women hustling to get their own money and success on their own terms.
It does feel good, and it feels good because, you know, I really worked my ass off for it. And it's just like, it finally pays off.
It
I
really
have
does.
been proven.
The success continued with her debut album, Invasion of Privacy, 2018, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 and earned critical acclaim. The album featured collaborations with major artists including Migos, Chance the Rapper, Bad Bunny, and J Balvin, demonstrating her ability to cross cultural and linguistic boundaries. Tracks like I Like It showcased her Latin influences while maintaining her distinctive urban edge. The Grammy win for Best Rap Album in 2019 represented the pinnacle of her rapid ascent, making her the first solo female rapper to win in that category. Her emotional acceptance speech, delivered while visibly overwhelmed, captured the magnitude of her achievement and the unlikely nature of her journey.
When I found out I was pregnant, my album was not complete. I had like 3 songs that I was for sure having. And then, you know how it was. Like, we have to get this album done so I could shoot these videos while I'm still not showing.
The speech also revealed the challenges she faced creating the album while pregnant, working against time to complete recordings and film videos before her pregnancy became visible. This dedication to her craft while managing personal challenges became a recurring theme in her career narrative. Cardi B's rise from stripper to Grammy winner challenged traditional notions of respectability and success in the music industry. Her refusal to sanitize her past or conform to expected behaviors for female celebrities made her both a feminist icon to some and a controversial figure to others. She consistently maintained that her experiences in the strip club were valuable and formative, refusing to express shame about choices that had ultimately led to her success. Thanks for watching. If you had a good time, keep the adventure alive by clicking on one of the suggested videos on your screen right now for more amazing content.